Hi guys, this is Joel Kennedy with Kennedy Violins, and today I'm going to do a video on how to find a good violin teacher. Now, I've been playing for a little bit more than 35 years, and a lot of those years I spent teaching, and I've noticed that how a student begins is crucially important. I've seen kids start off with really good teachers, and I've seen kids start off with really bad teachers. And a lot of the time, it really does affect, even 30 years later, their track as musicians. Now, the thing is that we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what our child's future is, but we do know that we want them to have opportunity. We do know that we want as many doors open as possible. So it's really important, especially with a string instrument, to start them off with as good a teacher as you possibly can. So there's two criteria that you want to look for. Number one is the ability to instill the love of music. The other is the ability to teach proper technique. So how do you find a teacher who has the ability to instill a love of music and the ability to teach proper technique? Well, there's three criteria that you want to look at. Number one is their professional track record. So have they in the past, or do they currently play in a professional organization? You know, most cities have professional organizations, or perhaps they'll have 3 or 4. There's symphony orchestras or some kind of ensembles that you have to audition for in order to get in. So if you have a teacher who is able to pass the audition process, well, that means that they're able to plan and prepare and practice and audition. They probably have pretty good technique, they have a high level of musicianship, and they probably love what they do. Well, that person has the characteristics that you want passed on to your child. Another criteria, this is a big one, number 2, is how successful are their students? Well, how do you know? Well, there's 2 primary ways in which you can tell. One is, do they have students in youth orchestras? Or 2, do they have students who will participate and perhaps win or place in competitions? Now, every city has youth orchestras, generally speaking. Usually about 1 to 4 youth orchestras. Now, youth orchestras have an audition process. In order to get through this audition process, you have to be able to plan and practice an audition. You have to be able to read music. You have to have a certain level of musicianship. You have to have decent technique. Now, those are all characteristics that they got from their teachers. So when you're interviewing a teacher, find out if they have students that participate in local youth orchestras. If they do, that's an excellent sign that they not only know how to play, but they know how to teach. Because not everybody who knows how to play knows how to teach. So the youth orchestras is a big one. The other one is competitions. Now, you don't need your student to compete, ever, unless you want them to, but there's a lot of benefits to competitions. But that's another video, right? But if you find a teacher that has students that regularly participate in competitions, that's a really good sign. Even if you don't want your student to participate in competitions, it means that the teacher is involved in the local community, and if they have students who do well in these competitions, again, well, that's a pretty great litmus test. It shows that they know how to teach. There's one other red flag that I want to let you guys know about, and that is specialization. You want to make sure a teacher specializes in the instrument that you want your child to learn. Sometimes you'll see ads for people who teach a whole bunch of stuff. They're a jack of all trades and master of none. They teach saxophone and piano and violin, or they teach jazz and flute and dancing or whatever. I don't know. There's a variety of combinations, but if they teach multiple instruments, they've got to be very, very, very similar, like violin and viola, or flute and piccolo. Chances are, if they're a jack of all trades and they teach a variety of instruments, they're probably not very good at any of them, and you have to go back to criteria 1 and criteria 2 to kind of test it out. But generally speaking, and there's always exceptions, but generally speaking, that is a red flag if somebody doesn't really focus on 1 or 2 instruments. So guys, I hope I was of some help in this video. If you have any additional questions or comments, put them down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that little alert bell, because then you'll get a notification when I post a new video, which I do pretty often. And always feel free to contact us here at Kennedy Violins. We are all players and teachers, so we're always happy to be of assistance for anything, anytime. Thanks, guys.